Hi everyone, so today I'm doing a video on my top 5 favorite foundations. I was going to do my top 5 drugstore and then my top 5 high-end, but honestly when I was kind of going through my collection there were really only like 5 or 6 foundations that really stood out to me that I would consider my absolute favorite. So I thought I would just combine them into one video, and I feel like this is kind of a good idea because I have 2 drugstore, 2 high-end, and then a CC cream. So you can kind of get an idea of what's good as far as drugstore all the way up through high-end, and then I have some that are light to medium coverage, some that are full coverage. So I feel like no matter what you're looking for, there will be a foundation in this video that I think would work for you. Now I have oily skin, just as a point of reference when I'm talking about these, on my skin, and I do feel like, I look for foundations that work best for oily skin, but I feel like there are aspects to some of these that would work well for combination or dry skin. So I feel like no matter what skin type you have, no matter what skincare concerns, there is going to be a foundation that I think you would love. But don't forget to let me know in the comments below if you have like an all-time favorite foundation that I didn't mention so I can check it out, because it's always fun to try new products. And I did do a video on my top 5 favorite face primers. If you want to check it out, I will link it in the description box below. So let's jump into it. So I will start with what I would say is my all-time favorite foundation. I always end up going back to this no matter what foundations I try. This is probably at the top of my list, and this is the Covergirl Outlast Stay Fabulous 3-in-1 foundation. I love this because it's affordable. You can get it at the drugstore, and I feel like I go through foundation pretty fast, so that's definitely a plus for me, so I don't have to continue repurchasing an expensive foundation. I love this because it says that it has the lasting power of a primer, the coverage of a concealer, and the blendability of a foundation in one, and that it's shine free. So I feel like this is a great option for oily skin, especially if you want a medium to full coverage look. Now even though I have oily skin, I'm not usually looking for a super matte finish, and I feel like this is nice because even though it's shine free, it still has a little bit of luminosity to it, so you're not left with like a completely matte finish, and it is a medium to full coverage. It's definitely buildable. I feel like you could really build this up to the coverage that you want. It's blendable and I love it. Now the only downside for me is that I am in the shade 805, and that is the lightest shade, so I feel like if you have even a little bit of a lighter skin tone than I do, it might not match you. Now my next favorite is definitely the most full coverage foundation that I've tried, and I just recently started using this like within the past week, but I've been loving it so much that I knew I had to mention it, and it is the Tarte Amazonian Clay Full Coverage Foundation. This one is a little bit more expensive. You can find this at Sephora or on Tarte's website, but I love this. I am a full coverage fan. Like most of the time you'll see me with a full coverage foundation on just because I struggle with acne scarring, I have freckles, hyperpigmentation, and I really like to even out my skin tone. This is the perfect option. This is the thickest foundation that I've tried. I want to do a full review on it, so I won't get too in-depth in it, but if you guys are looking for a really thick, full coverage foundation that's going to stay in place all day long, I would recommend this one. I like it because it's not drying, but it's not super hydrating, if that makes sense. I feel like it's a good middle-of-the-road formula. I have oily skin and it stays in place, but I also feel like it kind of hydrates my skin at the same time. But I've been loving it so much, so I wanted to mention it in this video, but I will have a review coming soon. Another great option from the drugstore is definitely the Revlon Colorstay. They have 2 different formulas, so they have one for dry skin and one for combination oily skin, and honestly I like both of the formulas for different reasons. But the one that I would probably say that I like a little bit more at the moment, because it switches back and forth, is the one for combination to oily skin. I think that this foundation stays on the skin nicely. It blends out nicely. It's kind of like a medium coverage, but you could build it up. I haven't used it in a while, but it is one of my tried and true favorites. I have a foundation routine using it, which I will link in the description box below, but it's just a good drugstore foundation to try. I think the formula is nice. One of the downsides is that it doesn't have a pump, so it's not as user-friendly as I would like it to be because it is a little bit runny, but I do like this foundation. I feel like, again, for the drugstore, it's definitely a good option, and I've repurchased it so many times. If you have dry skin or oily skin, they have something that's going to work for you, which is great because a lot of drugstore foundations don't make their foundation in 2 different formulas, so I think that's kind of unique about it, and I like both of the formulas. And I kind of like the finish that it leaves. It has a little bit of like a luminous finish, but if you're looking for a complete matte finish, I wouldn't recommend this one. My next favorite is from Urban Decay. It is the Naked Skin Weightless Ultra Definition Liquid Makeup. I've been loving this so much, and I think that this is a great option if you like a light to medium coverage. This is just such a unique foundation, and I didn't think that I would like it at first because I definitely prefer full coverage, but I love the way that it looks on my skin. It's literally like a second skin. It blends on beautifully, and it literally doesn't look like you're wearing makeup. Like, this is the most natural looking foundation, but it still provides you with a light to medium coverage. And I think that this is perfect for oily skin because I feel like through the day, my skin doesn't look as oily as it does when I'm wearing a different foundation, but I also think it would work for dry skin because it is a little bit hydrating, if that makes sense. This one does have a scent to it, so if you're sensitive to scents, you might want to stay away from it, but if you just need something light to even out your skin tone, nothing too heavy, and you just want a beautiful natural finish, I would definitely recommend it. I think that this is a great option out there. My last favorite is actually a CC cream, and I'm not a huge BB cream, CC cream fan because I feel like for people with oily skin, they just kind of slide right off, and throughout the day they wear off so quickly, but this is the best CC cream that I've found for oily skin, and it's from IT Cosmetics. It is the Your Skin But Better CC Plus Color Correcting Full Coverage Cream and Anti-Aging Hydrating Serum. It is a mouthful, but this has SPF 50 in it, which I think is great because a lot of times I'll want something with a little bit lighter coverage during the summer, and this is a great option. When we went on our cruise, this was all I wore on my skin because it has such a high SPF. It blends on so easily. It's like putting a moisturizer on, or you can use it with a brush, and this is the most full coverage CC cream that I've ever tried. It evens out your skin tone so easily. I love it because it has the consistency of a thick moisturizer, but it has pigment to it. So it's going to even out your skin tone. It's going to blend on so beautifully. If you have oily skin, this is definitely not going to leave your skin matte. You're going to have to wear a mattifying powder over it. But having oily skin and having tried so many BB creams and CC creams, this one stays on the longest for sure. I feel like throughout the day, even if it's hot out, it doesn't really move around. It stays on, and it gives me a nice luminous finish without being too shiny. This one has a pretty strong scent as well, so if you're sensitive to scents, you're probably going to want to avoid this one, but I love this because it has a pump. It's in this really kind of convenient travel bottle because it's like a plastic kind of squeezy tube, and I love it. I've been obsessed with this ever since I tried it. So those are my favorite foundations. Definitely let me know in the comments below which foundation is your favorite. I would love to hear from you. I definitely recommend checking out all 5 of these depending on your skincare concerns. I'll link any related videos in the description box below, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!